Allora, buongiorno a tutti, grazie di essere qui. Noi siamo molto onorati di questa prima ingresso di Taica, di Taiwan al MIA Market. Siamo molto contenti di questo focus di questa mattina che sarà molto interessante da quello che noi abbiamo, da quello che sappiamo di tutte le cose che verranno dette appunto in questa giornata. Io prima di tutto voglio ringraziare la presenza dell'ambasciatore Andrea Esghi, voglio ringraziare anche Maria Gianattasio del MIBAC, che tanto vedete qua sono tutte le cariche, quindi International Activities, Legal Support and Research Unit della Direzione Generale Cinema e Audiovisivo DGCA MIC. Abbiamo Stefano Centini, direttore e produttore di Volos Film. Possiamo dire che lui è l'ambasciatore non ufficiale del cinema di Taiwan in Italia. Lui ha una storia molto bella, molto interessante, anche dei risvolti divertenti, a quanto mi raccontava prima, a Taiwan. E poi noi abbiamo collegati adesso Joyce Tang, Senior Manager of Content Lab Department di Taica, e Yun Chu, Deputy Business Manager del Central Motion Picture di Taiwan. Sono collegate? Eccole, ecco Taica, good morning. Good morning, good afternoon, because buongiorno. Morning. Good morning. Thank you for being here, and thank you also for the breakfast that we ate. Unfortunately, without you, but we will send you photos. Allora, ambasciatore, ci racconti l'importanza del rapporto tra l'Italia, chi meglio di lei, del rapporto tra Taiwan e l'Italia?
Bene, grazie. Taiwan e Italia abbiamo ovviamente lunghissimi anni di rapporto. I think we have very long-standing friendship and relations between Italy and Taiwan, but in the past they are more related to business, commercial investment, scientific cooperation, industrial cooperation, and also cooperation in many NGOs and many culture scholarships, etc., but fewer in terms of culture and arts. Luckily, we have been very active in Biennale Venezia, in Fiera del Libro di Bologna, and also the Biennale di Firenze, etc., etc. But in terms of the cinema or video art, we are pushing forward a lot in recent years, especially since the last year, the creation of our culture division for the first time in these 30 years of history since we created our representative office is a milestone of our bilateral culture and artistic cooperations. And so this year we are also present in the Mostra Internazionale di Venezia, it's the Venice International Film Festival, with 8 films in competition, and also one film of famous director Tsai Ming-liang, who was there invited to for a projection of one of his films. So for us, this is very important that the MIA, the Mercato Internazionale di Roma, is the place where we decided to participate. So let me start with some ceremonial. Head of Document Division of MIA, Mr. Marco Spagnoli, representative of the Director General of the Film of the Italian Ministry of Culture, Mrs. Iole Maria Giannatasio, Deputy Director General of Central Pictures Corporation, Mrs. Cho Yun, representative of Volos Film Limited, as Mr. Spagnoli said, he's the culture representative of Italy in Taiwan, not only the successful producer in Taiwan, but we treasure the Italian presence in Taiwan's film horizon. My good friend, Mr. Stefano Centini, dear professionals from the European film and television industry, good morning to all of you. So it's an honor for me to be invited to witness the MIA Breakfast Talk organized by the Taiwan's TAICA, Taiwan Creative Contents Agency, during the 7th Italian MIA Market. This year also marks the 30th anniversary of the establishment of Taiwan Representatives Office in Italy. So I'm pleased to announce, as I said, that since the October last year, exactly 1 year ago, after our efforts, the government decided to create a division of culture in Italy. So this is a milestone breakthrough because it requires a lot of investment of new personnel and new budgets, but we made it. So we are happy to announce here also, because the last year, whole year almost was a COVID lockdown period. So we promised to the Italian general public that we will increase and enhance our culture and artistic activities in Italy as we did in the past. In order to promote the proliferation, industrialization, and globalization of the Taiwanese video art contents, especially the cinema, Taiwan Ministry of Culture established in 2019 Taiwan Creative Contents Agency, again our host today, the TAICA, to better promote Taiwan's culture, contents, industry, and cross-border investment and co-production. For instance, a total of 9 Taiwanese films were selected and screened during the 78th edition of Venice International Film Festival. Many of the films included in the VR section, the virtual reality section, received the investment from TAICA. So Taiwan is globally acknowledged as a country that upholds democracy, freedom, transparency, and multicultural tolerance. Artists and directors are encouraged to express their views and to apply diverse and open perspectives to express their creativity at the utmost. Art production dealing with sensitive issues such as homosexuality, same-sex marriages, and class actions against government or authorities' policies have been met by the public with the maximum enthusiasm. We believe that for European countries which also uphold the values of freedom and openness, there will be plenty of room for more interactions and exchanges, and that more outstanding films and television production will be produced under the international cooperation projects like this one we have today. In the future, the Culture Division of my representative office will continue to present more outstanding Taiwanese creators and their works in Italy. And finally, I would like to congratulate all the agents of participants here in this MIA event on their fruitful participation in the seminar, and wish them all personal well-being and a great success in this important event. So thank you very much for coming, and please enjoy whatever the MIA market can offer. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ambassador. Stefano, can you tell us about why Taiwan? What is your experience in Taiwan as a producer?
Yeah, so I arrived in Taiwan around 10 years ago after learning Chinese for a few years. And I ended up in Taiwan a bit by chance, because when I started studying Chinese in Italy, China was the, of course, main country of reference. But I was traveling around, and I found in Taiwan a place that was, like the ambassador was saying, more welcoming, more open, and more international in a sense, because at the time China was also still opening. And I decided to stay there because I found a way, I found a place where I could develop more diverse content. So I started working for international broadcaster like National Geographic, HBO, Netflix, etc., that were actually setting up offices in Asia at the time, and mostly on unscripted content. And while in Taiwan, the good thing of the environment in Taiwan is that the English level was very good, and the people were super friendly, very welcoming, and it really was helpful for international co-production, because every international co-production, I'm sure we will talk about this, requires a lot of mutual understanding and dialogue. And in Taiwan was really the place where I could find, an environment that from the production to the post-production phase was actually already built for that.
Mrs. Yun Chu, Stefano case is not the only one. You have a lot of production in Taiwan. And it's also, I read that you have a lot of post-production facilities that can provide let's say, the whole making of the film, the shooting and the wrapping of the post-production thing. Can you hear me?
Yes. In CMPC is the largest group in Taiwan. Yep. Sorry. I'm Qiu Yun from CMPC Group, the largest studio in Taiwan. And CMPC Group is the only film and the video group offering one-page service to cover investment, production, studio rental, camera and lighting rental, set construction, post-production according to audio and video, and the rights sales. And we have 4 little theaters in Taiwan. Yep. Yeah. Film production is managed by CMPC. In our group, we have 3 companies. Film production is managed by CMPC. We now made around 40% films each year in Taiwan. With well-rounded facilities, as well as we have wave tank, which made of Life of Pi. We will participate in the production of Hou Shaoshan's The Action, winner of the Best at Cannes, and Martin Scorsese's Silence. It built the Japanese street in our studio and shooting about 70% in Taiwan. And DDS focus on the TV series, including some Taiwanese productions sold to Netflix and HBO Asia this year. They were produced by CMPC and the DDS. Luminous is a professional lighting company, originally very famous from Hollywood. Their filmography included the series from The Matrix, Fast and the Furious, and Marvel. Its strength lies to ability to fully anyone's needs. Sorry. Yeah. And Oh, sorry. And CMPC. Okay, CMPC was established at 1954 and invested in hundreds of movies. It is cradle for well-known directors like An Lee, Hou Shaoshan, Edward Yang, and Tsai Ming-liang, who have swept film festivals in Cannes, Berlin, Venice, and many film festivals. As production hub with the most freedom in Asia, in Taiwan, we have no restraint on shooting topics like politics, religions, sexual orientations, or anything you want to shoot. Just like about last year, we have a film. The story is about a really mafia, and the really mafia shoot about the game films, and we help them. Our policemen help them. There are more than 500 counters and more than 100 policemen in our largest road in Taiwan at Taipei. Yeah. So In conditions such openness, in Taiwan, you can make movie on any topic you want. And was built from the earlier colonial area. We could also transfer into different areas and locations in China or Japan. There's no strong industrial union in Taiwan, which allow more flexible for shooting. And the CNPC runs 2 studios in Taiwan, including 6 soundstage and the wave tank. The wave tank was supervised by Hollywood professionals, built by Taiwanese company for both the hardware and the software. In addition to existing waves, we could also offer customized waves. Shooting in Taiwan, you can get many about 30% by government. And later, Joyce will say the rules and how to do it. And this page is the illustrate the service we prove in each stage of film and the series making, from pre-production to post-production. And Luminous is the lighting company was very activity in Hollywood now. And all the film listed there were service from Luminous. And they got the award from the Academy Award and the Emmys. And many films, because they should release in Taiwan, were earlier released in Taiwan ahead from other countries. For the box created here earlier multiply within Chinese-speaking regions and also reflection to the box office. So we always can see the Hollywood films before Hollywood. In summarize, we offer the customized, well-rounded service and the freedom opening in Taiwan. Welcome everyone to Taiwan and shoot with us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So you shoot in the pool. I would like to shoot a film in the pool, in this giant pool with waves. Would be fantastic. But what do you do? So you've been supported very much, as you said before.
Yeah, so definitely the environment in Taiwan is quite complete in the sense that we have both government fund and private equities, and the government fund are quite divided into national fund. Like Shoyun was saying, you have a tax rebate. If you spend over 1 million euro, you can have a tax rebate of 30% of what you spend. And then we have, of course, national fund for local directors. And Joyce will explain later TAICA. We have regional funds. And then we have participation CMPC for facilities that are really high level. We have a very high technician. I work a lot with, for example, Tutuji, which is a sound designer, and he worked for In the Mood for Love, for The Assassin, a lot of Ocean's film. So Taiwan is really become kind of a center for this type of more art house film, but also a hub for foreign film. They want to come and shoot in a Asian or Chinese-speaking environment without any restrictions or limitation like you could find in China.
Maria Giannattasio, how our government watches to this collaboration? Then we discovered it's a minority fund, so why not? I'm ready to go I have to write a story about the pool now. After this
You're
afternoon,
inspired.
I will be.
That's good. I see. Yeah, of course. Actually, we have, just to briefly introduce myself, Direzione Generale Cinema e Audiovisivo is actually a department of the Ministry of Culture, and we are the ones managing the National Film Fund. So we're not a separate agency. We are within the Ministry of Culture. The National Film Fund has a minimum budget per year of 640 million euros, which is already enough, I would say, but it's actually been always higher than this, particularly in these past years, also with the special measures for COVID. And we support the whole chain, starting from screenwriters to production, distribution, sales, festivals, theaters, but also media education, training, all activities related to the film and audiovisual sector. We support, and this is where my focus would be here, obviously, with three, let's say, types of schemes. There are the selective ones, which mean the project would be in competition with other projects, and there would be a film expert deciding based on quality criteria. Then there are the automatic supports, namely the tax credit, which is a percentage of 40% on films and 30 to 40% for audiovisual products on the overall expenditure. And then there is what we call automatic contribution that is based on the track record of the company, based on the previous productions and the economic, artistic results they gained. Then they will have to be reinvested in future productions. But as Stefano said, we had a special focus on co-productions because we are really keen in developing our international cooperations, and we know co-productions are so meaningful for that, not just because it's a way to put together money from more countries, but also because it is the way to have the project circulating, being intended since the very beginning to speak to different cultures. And it's obviously the most relevant way to have our professionals to cooperate, to get to know each other, to get to know other ways of filmmaking. So in all these schemes that I've already mentioned, co-productions are our darlings. We always have bonuses, facilitations, all sorts of advantages in the case of a co-production. But apart from that, we've established this minority film fund, which is for co-productions in which Italy is the minority partner. It's a 5 million euros budget fund with 2 calls per year. And you can get up to 300,000 euros, obviously on the Italian share. Actually, the real amount would be 60%. That would be the top amount on the Italian share, capped at 300,000 euros. And the access requirement is that the company that represents the majority country is at least can prove at least 50% of their budget already in place. Both bilateral or multilateral co-productions can have access to this fund, but it has to be for feature films, documentary, or animation, so it's not for TV series, for instance. One thing I want to point out here is that this is one of the selective funds, so there's a committee of experts who's going to decide. But the co-productions, the projects will get extra point if the co-production is with a country with whom we don't have a tradition co-producing with, which is exactly the case with Taiwan, because of course we're very glad to have more co-production with European countries, obviously, but we're really looking forward to extend our cooperation with countries and cultures we don't have a tradition with. So a co-production with Taiwan that should apply to our fund would have, let's say, a special treatment. We'll start with an advantage. So that's very important to bear in mind when applying that and another thing that goes hand in hand with that is the idea that the two companies that are working together, the Taiwanese and the Italian company, are establishing some sort of partnership that might live beyond that project. If we see that happening, this is also a plus. This is kind of extra points that make the project even more eligible to the support. I have to say the success rate so far has been quite high because we receive all good projects and we try to support them as much as possible. And let me just add that apart from all this support to production, we also support the promotion and the circulation of Italian films abroad. For instance, we have a scheme that it's actually managed by Cinecittà, our studios, where we support the local distributor. So if a Taiwanese distributor wants to distribute an Italian film in Taiwanese cinema theaters, they can access directly to this support scheme. So I mean, the whole system is quite complex. I won't go into the details of everything, but it's all consistent, it's all holistic in order to enhance the production of films that are international in it, not in their content. This doesn't matter. We know actually very well that local content, if the quality is high, travels very well around the world. But in terms of the creation, the production, the cooperation between professionals, that is meaningful to us, and we want to support this.
Thank you, Iole. Joyce, so what Taika provides for filmmakers and producers who want to work with you?
Hello, I'm introduce myself. I'm Joyce from Taika, and I agree a lot about what Iole said about the essence of the international co-production. Because I think not just because the project itself is like the partnership, the teamwork through the different country. I think we really bring up something much more we cannot expect. Yeah, so let me just introduce our program shortly. For our international co-production program, first of all, you have the project need to involve with Taiwanese elements. And what is Taiwanese elements? I think everybody quite confused, but actually it's very easy on the contents or on the crew. For example, maybe you can hire a local producer in Taiwan or team up with Stefano because he's our MOU partner in Taiwan. So that will have Taiwanese elements, or your story involved with Taiwan, or even the language or your main cast. You can find the reason why you want to co-produce with Taiwan, and we will bring the case to internally and we discuss, and then we can work on the project. And also you need to find the international distribution, international co-financing partner, besides, because now it's already from Italy to Taiwan, this kind of partnership. So naturally, the project from Italy will fit this criteria. So the last one is, because this program is more similar like a gap financing, so only you secure 70% of your budget, and we can invest the last 30% of the money. Yes. So basically, that's the principle of our program. But I think as long as the project is really want to talk to international platform or really want to talk to the international audience, we would love to discuss with you. We open to different kind of subject and producer from different kind of place. I think that's the really essence of this program. Yes. So that's all. So if you want to have more information, you can go to our website. I think the website provides much more clear details. Yes.
Yes, of course, they can get in touch with you, they can get in touch with Stefano. Do we have questions? Ci sono domande da parte vostra su una possibile produzione a Taiwan? Do you have any question regarding this type of productions and also the pool? No, I will ask a question by the pool. No, because actually there is only one in Malta, I think, that is operating in Europe right now. So we have a good alternative. It seems to me that you are both producing great blockbusters and small independent movie. The ambassador was quoting Tsai Ming-liang, for example. That is one of my favorite directors. So how do you combine these two souls of cinema? One very blockbuster, Hollywood commercial, and another that's more international, more art house Europe.
I think the good thing about being in Taiwan is that it gives you access to having this international co-production that can really train people working there, but also they are able to switch to the artistic sense. Because of the tradition of Tsai Ming-liang and Hou Xiaoxian and Edward Yang, Taiwan really looks at Europe as a place to distribute and develop content, as a place to develop partnership. For my company, we co-produce a lot with friends, and we are starting to co-produce with Italy. And I have some projects that I can show in a while that we are developing on now. But at the same time, we also have the mindset and people and the equipment to work with international broadcaster and in a bigger kind of environment. So how to put together these two souls of cinema, I think it's not really a matter of doing either one or the other, but it's more to be able to switch to what the film actually needs. And co-production, for me, is really a way to work together on something that grows together. So a lot of the companies that we work with, it's actually not just for one film, but for a slot of film that we work over the years. For example, I've brought here one of the films that is in a work in progress now that was shown in Venice Production Bridge this year. It's a documentary, because we're talking about unscripted here, and it was supported by Taika. It's an author film that is co-produced with France. And with this French producer, we currently have 4 projects in development, including the new film by the Singaporean director who won the Golden Leopard, and also a series with CJ, which is a Korean company, which is a big company. So it's really establishing Taiwan as a hub that can actually produce not just content for festivals or author film, but at the same time use the skills that we learn through making these author films also in other ways and for more commercial productions. So maybe I can show a clip from Holy Family.
Vai, let's go. Commento finale, Stefano?
Yeah, so I just wanted to say that we started to develop this film together with the co-producer from the very beginning, from development to the shoot in Taiwan and then the post-production in France. And then we're trying, at the moment, we have another project in development with Italy, and we're trying to do actually the same, to bring from the development in the co-producer to work together on the development of the film. And that's really what I hope to do more in Italy. And this is also one of the reasons why I'm also starting a company here, to bring also more Taiwanese content to start to develop here, the co-production from the beginning, so that it makes sense for us to build a relationship that just not lasts for one film, but is much longer.
So our time is up. I thank the, Joyce Tang, Yun Chu in Taiwan. Thank you for choosing Mia for this first toe in the water in Italian market. Grazie a Iole Maria Giannattasio, grazie a Stefano. Thank you, Mr. Ambassador, for opening this panel. E vi lasciamo, we will leave you to the other programs of Mia today. Thank you very much indeed. Bye.